Volvo wants you to stop from texting while driving by monitoring you with an in-car camera updated. Volvo is very committed to the idea of ending all fatalities in cars it builds, and it's even willing to watch you like a hawk and snitch on you to make that happen. It will employ the system Volvo is proposing will be introduced on all next-general, SPA2-based vehicles, referring to Volvo's the second generation of the Compass modular platform, the first generation of which already underpin the Compass bigger cars like the S60 and XC90. The SPA2 monitor for erratic driver behavior, use such as a lack of steering input, closed or averted eyes, weaving across lanes. You and assistance systems will intervene when necessary. The proposed interventions include audio-visual warning signals, reducing the car's speed, alerting the Volvo on-call assistance service, and finally actively taking control of the car to pull it over and park it safely as quickly as possible. It's not the first driver assistance system to use an in-car camera. For example, Volvo's camera system appears to be checking for a few key criteria, including eye motions, whether the eye is actually open or not. Generally, open is the preferred option for driving, extreme steering or braking reaction times, if the car is weaving or driving erratically, if there's no steering input at all, or if the driver is just slumped over and sloppily passed out on the dash. They've even made an overcomplicated chart for something we all know: the more drunk you are, the worse you'll drive. There's a lot of good ideas here, and, potentially, a system like this really could save lives, and that would include situations beyond intoxicated driving, like fatigued driving or distracted driving. There's some real questions here, though, and so much of this depends on how well it actually works. David Kidd from My only concern would be whether the information from different sensors can be used to reliably classify the driver's state as impaired or not impaired, distracted or not distracted. You would want to be basically, how well will this work? Will it deliver a lot? There's also the tricky question of whether or not your car will narc on you. If the car does, I've reached out to Volvo for comment on this, and will update when I get a response. Volvo says the system updated Wednesday, March 20, 2019, 1:30 p.m. ET. Volvo we are talking about addressing behavior for the safety of our drivers, not being an extension of law enforcement. So, there you go. Your car won't get
raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.